it reminds me of this woman that Jacob Beelan. He's a pastor that I love studying his work. He talks about this woman that he knew that was married to this guy that was just, he would go out, he'd go to work, and then he'd go to the bar, and then he would just act up, at the bar, and then come home, and then, treat his wife in your kind of way. And one day, he was at the bar, and he was talking to his buddies, and he told his buddies, he was like, yeah, when we leave here, let's just go home to my house. We all come to my house, and my wife, I'll wake up, and she'll make us all breakfast. And the buddy's like, man, why are you gonna do that to your wife? Ah, man, she's a Christian. She'll do it. She don't mind anything. And so he brought the buddies home, and he woke his wife up at 2, 3 something in the morning, and she got up, and she welcomed them all in. She treated them all nice. She made them bacon and eggs and whatever else, and gave it to them. And so once one of the other guys kind of ate and sobered up a little bit, he said to the wife, he said, I can't believe that he said that you would do this. I can't believe that you do it. Why would you do that? And she said, my husband is not saved. He don't know the Lord. And if he don't ever get to know the Lord in this world, this is the best he's ever going to get. He's not going to see heaven. He's not going to see anything. The best he's ever going to get is what I can give to him. He's not going to see it unless he changes. And he said, as far as I'm concerned, this is the worst it's ever going to get for me. When I get to heaven, it's going to be, absolute, wonderful. And she's seeing all the inheritance and stuff that she's going to receive. Now that was a woman, when he told that story, I was thinking about it, that was a woman that truly understood that first part in chapter 2. I'm a stranger and I'm a pilgrim. That helps you with decision making. And she also realized that the husband is a what? Stranger and a pilgrim. Even if he don't know the Lord, he ain't going to be here forever either. And it's the best he ever going to get if he don't never know the Lord. So at least I can say that I gave him I tried to make, while he was here, the best. Because he's never going to see anything better than what I give him. And I thought that was such a powerful story, of an individual. I surely would like to know how that turned out, whether the man ever,
that is true.
got himself together. But it's important to keep that in mind. So he says that the wife should win the husband by her conversation or by her attitude and the way she walks and the way she covers herself and carries herself, I should say. Verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. All right? They see how you carry yourself or how you conversate or how you do your daily activities and how you do it with the understanding and the fear of the Lord. Verse 3, whose adorning let it not be the outward adorning. Now this is what the world tells us that a woman should do. The world says the woman should put everything on the what? On the outside. This is how you get a husband. This is how you do this. You try to look what? As beautiful and as attractive as you possibly can. And that is what's going to draw the man. And that's not what the word says. That's the way the world does it. You need to, men have to be able to value something more than superficial stuff. And if you can't ever impress an individual, another man, another human being, by things inwardly, things that make who you are you, then your value is shallow. Your value is very superficial and it's fading. And you can't carry that with you because it's going to deteriorate. Every person was 16 at one time. All right? Okay? And when you're 16, 17, 21, 20, all right, yeah. All right, you're looking at the but if you live on and the Lord allows this world to tarry, you get 30 and 40, and 50, and 60, 70. You're not the same. But your character can even get more glorious, more beautiful. Your character can develop even more so. And that is what you want to grow. And I think it's so, the devil is shrewd. And you look at a lot of these shows, these kind of shows that are kind of, and I think they're kind of made for women. And I thank God that, my wife don't watch them, and I don't watch them. But sometimes you flip through the channel, you'll see them. There's so many of them. And then I go to work and I hear a lot of my friends talk about these different shows and, these Kardashian people and all this other. And you listen to them talking and you like, well, all they're doing is trying to just be catty and vile and any kind of thing but adorning themselves with pleasantry. Any kind of just sassy, disgusted type of attitude and that's what they're showing in all these shows. And the world is trying to get women to say, be like this, be like that. And I think it's very bad because it's 100% different than what the word says. The word says that you're supposed to be what? You're supposed to adorn yourself with the things that are pleasant, that are meek, that are mild, the hidden beauty of the heart. Let's keep reading. Whose adorning let not be that outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair and of the wearing of gold or the putting on of apparel. All right, and in this world today, that's one of the big things. It's like we have been trained, and sometimes you get trained so far past things, it's hard to revert. How do I look, and how is this, and does these shoes match, and and not to say that you shouldn't try to look your best, but the world sometimes takes it to to a degree where it's obsessive, and we have to make sure we watch out for those types of things because this is what Peter is talking about here, verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the what? Of the heart, in which is not corruptible, even the ornament of the meek and the quiet what? Spirit. Having a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great what? Price. God sees that as great price. God's not looking at the gold chains and the silver, bracelets and all that as being, wow, they got that meek and quiet inner person. God says that's of great value. All right, and that's important to keep in mind. And he spends a few verses here dealing with the wife, and we're still not done, because it's important. You do pay more attention to where your gold is than you do to where a slab of iron or is. Right? You give it more attention. You give it a little bit more focus, and God is definitely giving this a little bit more focus. Verse 5. For after this manner in the old time the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. In other words, being under their own husbands, being protected by them, allowing them to be the what? The forefront or the leader. And some people say, well, why does the man have to be the leader? Because the man is the one that's supposed to fight the spiritual battle. The woman is supposed to be what? Protected. And if somebody break in here right now and start swinging bats and sticks, am I going to say, go get him, Mary? Come on, Penny. All right.
Good choice.
Come on, Regina, go get him. All right, and I'm gonna stand back here and cheer you on.
I'm gonna drag you outside.
No,
come inside.
That's the wrong way. A man is supposed to instinctively. A man's supposed to be the what? Protector. Yo, I'm going to protect the woman. I'm going to make sure that and that's something that's just should be part of who you are. A man, just like how a woman instinctively wants to be married to, a man should instinctively want to do what? Protect. Right? And that's important. But the world has gotten the messages so mixed, and we have gotten things so confused, and so many things that we label as rights. Well, it's you have the right to be this, and you get it confused. Everybody has rights. The Constitution of America was written for everybody. You know, man, woman, everybody. But you got to make sure that you understand how you apply it in your understanding of what God has asked you to be in your role as a husband or as a wife or as a man or as a woman. And we should not forget that. All right? But even as Sarah was in subjection unto her own husband, even, let's see, verse 6, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him what? Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. All right? So, you are part of this line of godly women, women that recognize their role in what God has designed women to be. God has designed women to be a precious being that is to be overseen and protected, not to be devalued, but very, very. There's complexity to women. You know, I saw a chart one time. I wish I had a copy of it. But the chart was saying, it said, this is how men are, and it was a chart of like a switchboard, and the switchboard had one switch. It was about, the switchboard was this big, and one switch in the middle, and the switch was on, off. Okay. Then it said, and this is the woman, same size switchboard, but it had knobs and switches and sliding things and turning knobs and on, off and lights and it had so much stuff on it. And I looked at it and I go, wow, that's so true. There's so much complexity. Because men are very, you can probably think of 3 things. If you give a man 3 things, boom, 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 he's a happy cat. He's good. He's good to go. All right. Well, with women, there's a lot more complexity. Now, we're going to get to this in a minute, but that's important to understand. All right, because look at what it says here. Verse 7. Likewise. All right. Now we talked about the woman. Now it's saying what? Likewise, all the stuff that we talked about just a while ago about being a stranger, about being subjected to the governors and to the law and the state, about being subjected to your master or to your employee, your employer as an employee, and then all the stuff that we said about the wife and how the wife needs to be protected. Now it's going, that same likewise is attached to who? The husband. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to what? Knowledge. Why is God telling a husband to be knowledgeable about your wife? Exactly. Because she is complex. There's a lot that you have to know, and it is your role. She has the complexity. You have to what? Learn the complexity. So sometimes people say, well, you know what? Women are sometimes smarter than men. I think that's true. Because women have the complexity, men have to do what? Learn it. And so you got to pay attention. You got to, it's like the story of the man. It says, like, it say for woman, it's like a flower, a plant.